With it being hot in the summer, is it really global warming or is there something else going on here? Let's find out. Also in the news, driverless cars caused one person to die last year, and that one person is too much. And also, they make multiple blocks of traffic on busy streets. All of that and more on today's episode.
Facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past.
Our media is trying to blame this year's higher than normal temperatures on global climate change, but is that really the case or is something else going on behind the scenes? I'm going to say the latter for this one. That's because of this volcano erupting 1 year ago. As we can see from this article from NASA published last year on August 2nd, they said, and I quote, when the Hunga Hyapaya, I'm going to butcher that name, volcano erupted on January 15th, it sent a tsunami racing around the world and set up a sonic bomb that circulated the globe twice. The underwater eruption in South Pacific Ocean also blasted an enormous plume of water vapor into the Earth's stratosphere, enough to fulfill more than 58,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools. The sheer amount of water vapor could be enough to temporarily affect Earth's global average temperature. We can see that they expected the temperature to rise, but the media as a whole just somehow forgot that this even happened. They'll go on to say, and I quote, "We never seen anything like it," said Louis Malin, an atmospheric scientist at NASA. He's in the Southern California district and he led a new study examining the amount of water vapor that the Tonga volcano injected into the stratosphere. But the most important part of the whole entire article is the part that they talk about this, and I quote, "The huge amounts of water vapor from the eruption may have a small temporary warming effect since water vapor traps heat. The effect would dissipate when the extra water vapor circulates out of the stratosphere," which proves the fact that the media, like everything else, was looking at the narrative that they wanted to push first and then worried about the facts later, secondary, which they always do, then wonder why we don't even trust them. With that being said, let's dig into the headlines of the week. So let's move on to the next article because we already knew all that. The next article is actually from the Daily Wire. We have unknown singer-songwriter receives praise for viral anthem for the American working man. Once unknown singer-songwriter Olivia Anthony has gone viral overnight with the song Rich Men North of Richmond, with many conservatives hailing the song as an anthem for the working man. Anthony's song voices many struggles for the working class Americans. The song communicates the pain of being overworked for a subpar pay, only to have money taxed to no end, and to see others cheat the welfare system. I completely agree. The full performance was posted to the YouTube channel Radio WV. In roughly 48 hours, the original video has accrued 1.7 million views on YouTube. As of past town, has been viewed over 2.5 million times on X. In response to the success of the song, Anthony posted on his Twitter account, "Rich Men North of Richmond has been uploaded to all major streaming platforms and will show up in a few days. I'm still in a state of shock at the outpouring of love I've seen in the comments, messages, and emails. I'm working to respond to everyone as quickly as possible." Perhaps the most notable theme throughout the song is a great chasm between the elites and the average working man. The rich men north of Richmond in Washington, D.C. and New York City, among other cities, don't know you what is right, so they all just want to have total control, Anthony sings. The song makes a very clear reference to Epstein's Island when he sings, quote, "I wish politicians would look out for the miners and not just the miners on an island somewhere." The solemn tone and reliability of the song are underscored by Anthony's incredible voice, complemented by the acoustics of the surrounding woods in the resonator guitar. He stands just under a deer blind while a few of his dogs lie next to him and listen. Many prominent conservatives have come out praising the song. Daily Wire's host Matt Walsh posted to X, "This kind of country music I like." Walsh shared that he was listening to other songs Anthony has posted, saying, "Happy to report that his other songs are great too, raw and poetic." The man expresses the pain of that many forgotten Americans live with every day. Glenn Beck praised the song, saying, "This is the voice of much of America. Anthony, thank you for your voice." Now, I completely agree, but what is this song? Let's listen to it here.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away. Drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is.
Okay, so already I can see that he has a magic voice. I already have the chills, okay? I get the chills very easily, but he has an amazing voice. This is exactly what Matt Walsh was talking about when he was saying raw and authentic. We can tell that he's singing from his heart. We can see that he's actually feeling the pain that we're going through, that working all day for bullshit pay, you're not making a lot of money, you're paying all of your money to the taxes. It's all BS.
All it is, living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men, north of Richmond.
No, and I completely agree on that. All these rich people are there for themselves, not for us, of course. We already knew that. And it's just a disappointing fact in this world that this is what the world came to. Your dollar is not worth anything, but the millionaire's dollar can buy everything because they just paid the politicians off. Jeff Bezos does not pay any taxes, even for his personal. I'm not saying Amazon doesn't have to, should have to pay taxes. If it comes out to their accountant and they're breaking even on that year, that's totally different on the company side of it. But Jeff Bezos as a person should be paying taxes. He paid off the politicians, so he did not have to pay taxes. He broke even every single year on his personal side.
Politicians look out for minors, and not just minors on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. All it is, living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men north of Richmond.
And I completely agree with all of this. This whole entire song is just really good, really, really well put together. And this is the exact same thing that us, the people, feel. The same exact thing as what he is saying is the exact same thing as what we feel. So it's just, I'm getting lost in the music here, so I don't know if I'm saying a lot, but it's crazy. This is talent right here.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.
Yeah, and I completely agree. But then at the same exact time, people are going to take this out of context and say, oh, BS pay what you want to raise the minimum age. No, minimum pay. No, we're not saying this. What we're saying is that if we are making the $18, $15, whatever minimum wage is now, if you're making that, but then being taxed the 30%, 40% because you're working an independent contractor job, a self-employed contractor job, you're paying so much of those taxes straight back to the government. Even if you're not paying an independent contractor job or a self-employed job, what you are doing out of your taxes every single week is paying half of that, 15% of your taxes. And not only that, that's not the only taxes that you're going to be paying. You're going to be paying taxes on everything that you buy, so sales tax. You're going to be paying taxes on your gas that you get for your car. You're going to be paying taxes on the electric that you use as soon as you wake up in the morning and turn a light bulb on. You're going to be paying taxes on your water that you use to take a shower in the morning. You're going to be paying taxes on the gas that you use to cook your food in the morning. You're going to be paying taxes when you want a coffee. Everything, every single little thing that we do, we get taxed on. So that 15% turns into 40%, 50% when we start factoring in the daily necessities that we need to survive on an everyday basis. That's exactly why what he's saying is that he's not making a lot of money after taxes. Now, if we cut down the taxes and we start firing these politicians that we don't need so many politicians, take away these so many politicians, then we'll have more money for us, the people, to use. And not only that, but we just wouldn't be taxed at all. So we can decide what to do. And not only all of those things are not the only thing that we get taxed on, we also on top of that get taxed on Social Security and Medicare. So if we get rid of that also, that's a huge chunk. And if we get rid of all the unnecessary spending, that's another huge chunk. So we can take back our own money that we earn as a people. You get what I'm saying? Yes, you should. Now, moving with this article from the Daily Wire, what did they say about this article? Well, Jack Posobiec recounted his reaction, quote, "Don't even remember the last time that a song hit me like this," he said, and then sarcastically adding, "Be ashamed if this anthem went absolutely viral." Country music star John Rich shared the video with the caption, "Volume Up," and the video of the performance was even shared by Joe Rogan and Sean Hannity. Haunting sound of the commentary on what happened to America's working class, Fox News' Laura Ingraham said of the song. Jason Hardton made contact with Olivia Anthony and shared some of Anthony's story through a thread posted on X. Anthony has struggled with mental health and alcohol in the recent past. Howardton said prior to his success of the song, he praised God that he would get sober if God would help him pursue his dream, according to Houghton. Oliver Anthony currently resides with his 3 dogs in Farmsville, Virginia, pursuing an off-grid lifestyle on 90 acres of land, according to Whiskey Riff. The performance can be seen here. Yeah, and I completely agree. So, and this is just his gift from God because of the fact that he did get famous, and he's going to get a career out of this because he's a very, very talented person. So he said, yes, God, if you help me with my dream, then I will stop drinking because there will be no reason to. And then God said, okay, count your wish granted, because if you wish upon a star, it may come true. So he can stop drinking. It's very important for people to stop drinking, and God knows that. So with that being said, we're going to be moving into the media's takes.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
So, moving right into the first article, we actually have a CNN article. We have a new twist in Hunter Biden's case is a huge political headache for his father. So, a sudden new twist in the investigation into Hunter Biden means that his legal tribulations would be a stretch on for months, creating an unwelcome new drag on his father's White House and re-election bid. Just weeks ago, the shadow of the criminal suspicion over Hunter Biden seemed about to lift. But the elevation of the Davis Swiss, the prosecutor investigating President Joe Biden's son, to special counsel status on Friday, was as important for symbolic and political reasons as it was for legal ones. The new status grants him extra powers to burden his inquiries potentially into the other states beyond his current patch. as the United States Attorney in Delaware. The change of status followed the collapse of the deal last month that would likely have seen Hunter Biden get sentenced to probation after pleading guilty to 2 misdemeanor tax charges. The deal would have also included an arrangement that would have resolved in a felony gun charge. Was said in a court filing on Friday that negotiations to restore the deal, which a judge had worried was unconstitutional, has now reacted in Paisley, and that the trial was likely. Good, because you can see that there was a Hunter Biden sweet plea deal going on here with the DOJ, and the judge all that she needed to do was sign off on it, and she said, no, I'm not going to do this. This is a plea deal, and this is a great plea deal that's going to let you get off on everything. So no, thank you. Nope, I'm not doing that. I don't blame her. The prospect of the president's son going to trial under a glaring media spotlight would be a nightmare distraction for any White House, let alone potentially during a re-election campaign. It would also be prolong the personal toll on the president and his family of the wait a second. Okay, I'm gonna just stop reading right there. The personal toll onto the president and his family. Do you not see what you're doing to Donald Trump? CNN, you're just so stupid. It's like, we can't investigate the president of the United States. No, but you right there, former president Donald Trump right there. We're going to investigate you on no end on stupid charges that have nothing to do with each other, that have nothing to do with what you actually did. And it's not only the fact that we're suing you, but we're not going to be suing Hillary Clinton on doing much worse than what Donald Trump did. We're not going to be suing Joe Biden on the same exact thing as what Joe Biden did. We're not going to be suing Mike Pence on the same exact thing Mike Pence did. All these very things is the same exact thing that Trump did, but the only thing is that Trump is kind of stubborn, which is a thing that is not really the best thing. But also the fact is that we're not going to sit here and say that other political presidents or other senators like Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton and Obama did not do the same exact thing when they were president. It's just stupid. We're going to pick sides here. All of these people do the exact same stuff, the exact same things. Moving on to the next article, we actually have an MSNBC article. We have Latino Republicans voting to defund a National Latino Museum feels like a betrayal. You're going to act surprised here? This is the exact same thing that the left will do if there's something that they don't like. So if there's something that conservatives don't like, they're going to try to defund it. If there's something that leftists don't like or liberals don't like, then they're going to defund it. Are we going to act dumb here? Like, the same exact thing happens on your side of the aisle, MSNBC. Don't act like it's something new. Like, oh my God, you're not supposed to do this. Yes, you are. This always happens. Don't act like it's new. We're not going to be reading that. But what we are going to be reading is the next article, which is a Daily Wire article. We have scientists discover a magic diet pill that will make fat people miserable. So, and I completely agree with this because of the fact that a lot of people are trying to find the magical drug that's going to make you lose weight, and you don't have to worry about anything. You can just have all of your cake and eat it too. Stuff like that. But the same exact thing is these drugs that are going to make you lose weight have very, very horrible side effects that are going to bother you not only mentally, but also physically, because if you're not eating what you're supposed to be eating, then yes, you may look physically fit, but you're not mentally fit. You're not inside. You're not fit in the inside, okay? If you're eating cake all day long, that's not what you need to survive. So yeah, you can say, oh yeah, well, I look skinny though. Oh, I look so good. Hot girl summer, blah, 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 blah. No. Because you're going to die of diabetes anyway. And you're going to die of depression because you're going to say here and say, no, instead of me going to the gym every single day or going on a walk with my dog every single day or eating less or tracking what I eat to make sure that my calorie deficit is actually in a deficit. My calorie goal is actually less. My goal for eating is actually less calories than what I actually burn. So that means that I'm in a calorie deficit, which means that, yes, you lose weight. God. Moving into the next article, we actually have this is the same exact article, but moving into the article that I just talked about, gluten's everywhere can blanch a sigh of relief as scientists raise the prospect of having one cake and eating it too. Researchers at the University of Texas have announced trials of the new drug called CPACC, which is CPAC-K. which has proven to starve off weight gain in mice, no matter how much they stuff their fat little rodent faces. The drug works by inhibiting the flow of magnesium through the mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. Excess magnesium seems to slow the mitochondria's ability to burn calories. By mimicking the deletion of the protein coding gene that controls the flow of magnesium, the drug effectively increases the body's metabolism. Clinical trials in humans could begin as soon as October, much as the dazzling scientific feat might tranquilize obedient butterballs. One doubts how much people really stand to benefit from Rube Goldberg alchemy when they could achieve the same end by simply abstaining from cupcakes. Obesity weighs on certain physiques more than others, and people struggle to develop the discipline to avoid gluttony. But a magic pill will never solve the problem of obesity, because obesity is not only outward symptom of a deeper problem. Modern society, enriched by liberal materialism, often confuses symptoms of causes. Hence, the recently disproven chemical imbalance theory of depression, according to which misfiring curable pistons make us blue rather than the other way around. Instead of working on their marriages, recounseling with their fathers, finally finishing that degree, finding a job, or even perhaps going to church and recognizing the meaning and purpose of life, patients instead pop a few shrink-prescribed Xanax pills to get them through the week until their next fruitless therapy session. Insomniacs no longer need to change their lifestyle. They have perpetrates, and now glutens can avoid confronting the causes of their compulsive eating, because modern science has produced a pill for that too. Pharmaceutical companies market such drugs as medicine, responsible tools for improving one's health. In fact, not only does pill popping not conduce to health, it actively undermines it. Because man is no mere bag of chemicals and physical elements that arise from habit signify deeper problems perpetrating to virtue and vice, which form and constitute our habits. Drugs might mask those problems, at least for a while, but by leaving underlying causes unaddressed, in the long run, drugs only ever make those problems worse. The roly-polies reaching for the CPAC-C pill consider pugnance the problem, while the more insightfully obese recognize that the deeper issue lies in the bad habits that made them fat in the first place. But the core problem lurks deeper still, in the concupiscence that inclines us all to sin as a consequence of man's fall from grace. Atheists might recoil at the religious language, but even they can't deny the anthropological fact of human imperfection. Glutens desire a box of donuts because our first ancestor ate an apple. And I completely agree with all of this because of the fact that, yes, people are fat. Okay, they're going to want fatty things. That's exactly why we have so many donut shops. We have exactly so many muffin shops, and we have so much bakeries around here where I live, at least. There's so many because everybody's going to go through every single one. They're going to go to let's just say crumble cookie. Oh, I want crumble cookie. Oh, so good. So fattening. You have a whole entire box of cookies, stuff your face. Oh, no. 5,000 calories later, you're fat. You're fat and you're ugly. You can't find a girlfriend and you're complaining about your life. But instead of you having that whole entire box of cookies and stuffing your face, oh, it's so good. Double chocolate chip cookie and cookie dough ice cream like Joe Biden likes to have over here. Instead of doing all of that, you can make your own ice cream at home and a lot healthier. And then you feel better about it afterwards because you're not going to just sit on the couch and watch a whole entire season of Grey's Anatomy. So it's just a sad thing that we saw our society come to, because of the fact that you could be watch the whole entire Grey's Anatomy season, but instead of doing that, you could go to the gym, work out, you can take a walk, put on a podcast, put your AirPods in, and take a walk. Yes, I know. The city is not really good, okay? You go outside and you're like, ugh, it's the city. Yes, we know. Nobody likes the city. But go to a park within your city. Maybe you don't want to go to the city. Maybe you want to go to a countryside or a little town next to your city. And then take a walk over there and see how much better it is. Because now you're going to feel a hell of a lot better. Because now you're not going to be walking outside. You're going to see needles on the street. You're not going to see all that. You're going to say hi to the people that you're walking next to. It's just a lot better experience. Because that's what I do with my dogs. I go to a nearby town and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go to this nearby town because of the fact that it's a lot better for my dogs. It's a lot better for me. It's a lot better for me mentally because of the fact that I don't need to worry about seeing something on the ground. My dog sniffed something on the ground before and had a seizure. But the thing is that he's okay. He's fine. Okay. But that's besides the point here. You can go and instead of making excuses for yourself, go to a nearby town, take a walk. Go on the treadmill, get a Planet Fitness membership for $10 a month, $1 down, okay? Pretty good deal. But that's besides the point. That is the main point. Go work out. There is no excuses for not working out. Instead of working out, you don't need to watch a whole entire season of whatever the heck you're watching, okay? You don't need to watch that. Put it for save for later. Okay, you can watch it later. It's not going anywhere. And track your stuff on your watch. Buy an Apple Watch, $250, $250. Yes, I know that's a lot in this economy, but there's cheaper ones. $100 Fitbit, $50 Fitbit. It doesn't matter, okay? Buy something to motivate you. Even on your phone. Your phone tracks your steps too. Go on Nike Plus Run Club and you can track how many miles you're actually walking. Set a goal for yourself. 5 miles a day. I want to walk around. Walk around your house. Download Sweatcoin. You can download Sweatcoin to actually earn money. This is not a sponsorship. Okay, I know it sounds like a sponsor. It's not. Whatever. Don't download Sweatcoin. I don't really care. But these things motivate you to actually start walking. And it's going to better your life it's going to make your life turn for the better because now you're not just sitting on the couch doing nothing, eating potato chips, eating a cake, eating whatever the heck you're going to order from Domino's. It doesn't matter. Okay. Don't. Make better choices instead of popping pills. And I completely agree with that article entirely. Now, moving into the next article, we actually have a Breitbart article. Now, this is a very, very sad time because of the fact that we already know, we talked about this last time. In Maui, we are having a fire. It actually killed 93 people. The death toll just rose. Okay, this is the article from Breitbart here. The death toll from the wildfire that raised a historic Maui town reached 93 late Saturday night, as Hawaii authorities warned to the effort to find and identify the dead was still in its early stages, and public should brace for more losses. The blaze is already the deadliest United States wildfire for over a century, as more evacuations are underway in the western area of Kaniapia. I'm saying that so wrong, I know. The already revised death toll could rise significantly. Hawaii Governor Josh Green warned as forensic work continues to identify the victims. Yeah, you can just see this guy. You can just see, like, it's just crazy. Everything's burnt down to the ground. It's just sad. You can see cars just burnt. People are going to see their house. It's just very, very upsetting. I can't. I mean, it just looks so nice too. See, it's just sad because, like, when you're just looking at this, you just feel so bad for the people that used to live there. You can see everybody that wants to just leave now, going to live with loved ones in the country. It's just crazy. Yeah, I'm just taken a little back because of the pictures here, because it looks so good before, and then after it's just very, very sad. If you're infected and if you're impacted by this, I just feel so bad. I just feel super bad for you. My heart goes out to you. God bless everybody that was impacted from this. And if you know anybody, tell them that that we are thinking about them and that they have our deepest condolences, because it's just a sad thing. It's just a sad, sad day. Moving on to the next article, though, we are going to be talking about driverless cars. Now, driverless cars are something that needs a lot more work, okay? Driverless cars need so much more work, in fact, that they are causing traffic in our major cities, okay? According to this article, driverless cars cause traffic jam in San Francisco and malfunction. A group of about 10 self-driving taxis became stuck in San Francisco neighborhood of North Beach on Friday evening, causing a traffic jam just one day after regulators voted to allow driverless taxi companies virtually free reign of the city. And you can actually see it here, which I will play for you guys.
There's like 10 of them right now.
Yep, and you can just see them. They have their hazards on. They don't even know what to do. And they're just stopped. So apparently this is exactly what happens when they don't know exactly what they're going to be doing. They just want to stop right there so they don't hurt anybody. I just don't think that that is the best thing for them to be doing. This is the article. The San Francisco Chronicle reported that the company blamed wireless connectivity issues relating to a nearby music festival. As many as 10 Cruise driverless cars stopped working in San Francisco's North Beach on Friday night, causing traffic to back up and leaving some questioning the decision of state legislators a day earlier to approve the expanded use of robo-taxis in the city. The autonomous vehicles appeared to be stopped in the middle of Grant Avenue, according to social media posts, with hazards on, blocking others from moving. In the response to the incident, Cruise said the backup was caused by wireless connectivity issues that immobilized the driverless cars. What? So because of the fact that you don't have signal, oh, I'm in a signal-free zone, I don't have any signal, the tower, the skyscraper right here in our major city is blocking my view, so I don't have any signal on my phone here. So now I'm just gonna stop right here. Like you can look with your eyes. You don't need to rely on your connectivity, and you should have a downloaded map of the city that you're working in anyway, so you can work off the clock. You can work off the grid. These cars can't do that. That's stupid. In response to the incident, Cruise said the backup, okay, I already said that. The Los Angeles Times noted about 10 p.m. Friday, as many as 10 Cruise driverless taxis blocked two narrow streets in the center of city's lively North Beach bar and restaurant district. All traffic came to a standstill on Vallejo Street and around two corners on Grant. Human driving cars sat stuck behind in between the robo-taxis, which might as well have been boulders. No one knew how to move them. The cars sat motionless with parking lights flashing for about 15 minutes, then woke up and moved on, witness says. Like that, you're just going to sit there and say for 15 minutes and then just go right after you're done? Like what? Just go. Cruise blamed cell phone carriers for the problem. Of course they are. At 11:01 p.m. Friday, Birkin sent a text message to Cruise Government Affairs Manager Lauren Wilson. At 8:25 a.m. Saturday, she texted back, "As I understand it, outside lands impacted LTE cell connectivity and the ability for RA advisors to route cars." Outside Lands is a 3-day music festival held on the Golden Gate Park, 4 miles from North Beach. Okay, but whose fault is this? Why did you plan to send these cars out on the same exact day that you knew that there was going to be a problem? So you're trying to save yourself. You're not going to save yourself here. The California Public Utilities Commission, UPUC, had just approved Cruise and Waymo to operate unlimited numbers of driverless cars on the city's streets 24 hours per day and 7 days per week, the Washington Post reported. Social media is full of accounts of cars malfunctioning on streets on other occasions. This is according to NBC. This is a journalist, Bad Shabin. This is a reporter. Now let's actually see here. So they witnessed this firsthand. So let's actually see what we're talking about here.
After our first ride with Cruise seemed to go as planned,
it's very confused, poor thing.
We invited Eugenia Borges, a longtime driving instructor, to join us for our second ride. About 1 minute in, our car was at a green light, but wouldn't budge.
It's a very safe situation for the car to turn, and it's just staying here. I'm not sure why, so that's interesting.
It seems a little hesitant to you.
Very hesitant.
The car eventually inched forward, but kept stopping.
We're kind of now riding in between two lanes.
The hazard lights were on, now they're off.
Then, all of a sudden, it hit the gas.
Oh.
Okay, so it's just going to go on the side and just pull over.
Our car drove straight towards the median and just stopped, taking up almost 2 full lanes.
It should have just stayed over there where it was road work ahead, because that lane was already closed. So if it was going to be over there, now it went from 1 lane closed, so a 3-lane, 1 lane's closed because of traffic, and then the Waymo car is taking up a whole another lane. So now there's only 1 lane that traffic can go through. That's upsetting.
People are honking at us.
Not even coaching from our driving instructor could get our car moving again.
Turn your wheel right.
Then came the looks from other drivers.
How does this compare to the worst driving student you've ever had?
Oh, this is much worse.
Much worse.
Oh, yeah. I can communicate with my student, and I keep them calm, and I cue them, so there's just no comparison.
Cruise declined to sit down with us again, but in a statement said, the car encountered an unexpected construction zone that would have required several lane changes. The better course was for the autonomous vehicle to come to a safe stop rather than proceed. While other
But that's just
drivers
BS.
cruised right past that closed lane, our car sat parked on a busy street for 20 minutes, causing a traffic jam for blocks.
What's your reaction to it being a driverless car stuck here?
I'm not surprised.
I think they still need a driver.
For those vehicles still in testing, with actual humans inside who can take over the wheel, we've learned safety drivers in California had to override their cars more than 8,000 times last year alone.
Yeah, and I completely agree because this is new technology, so obviously we're not going to have the best technology already, so they need some more action going on here. But at the same exact time, this is not the solution to this. Risking our people so you can test your little devices and your little toys on the street is not the best thing. If you want to do this, how about you do it during work hours? Like, let's just say like 12 to 2. Why are you going to do it at, maybe do it at night. Maybe do it at like 12 to 2 o'clock in the morning. And then do it 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Like where nobody's really on the road and nobody's really going to work at that time. So how about you do it during that time? Not during the busy times, 3 to 5 p.m. That's the traveling from work. And then don't do it between 7 and 9 a.m. because that's traveling to work. It's just common sense here. Moving on to the next video, we have Cruise Anonymous Vehicles putting our members in an unsafe situation just sent by one of the members of San Francisco. This is ridiculous. Yeah, so this for the people that cannot see this, the Waymar car just sat behind a trash truck and then just boxed them in. So it really does not know what it's doing here. And I don't trust this technology at all. I would trust it a little bit. I would trust Tesla a little bit more than this one because this one just seems like it is completely off the grid. Like it does not even know what it's doing at all. So why would I trust that at all? And you're in the first stages of the testing. Tesla has a lot more stages of testing because it's been around for the years and years already. But we're going to be moving into the next article. We actually have a Federalist article. We have 7 revelations from ex-Capitol Police Chief that explode Democrats' January 6 narrative. Ex-Capitol Police Chief Seven Sund made explosive allegations of the federal misconduct related to the Capitol chaos, raising more questions than answers. Ex-Capitol Police Chief Steven Sund is determined to set the record straight on what happened on the January 6 Capitol riot more than 2 years ago. After writing a book that challenged the groupthink of corporate media and the partisan January 6 committee, Sund sat down for an interview with former Fox News host Tucker Carlson. According to Carlson, the interview with Sund was scheduled to air on the network on April 24th, the same day Fox News announced the anchor's termination. Another already taped interview with the Federalist senior contributor was also stiffed. Fox News refused to release the footage of Stund's conversation with Carlson, so the pair recorded another sit-down published on Twitter on Thursday. Stund knew more about what happened than virtually anyone else in the United States, Carlson said, yet congressional investigators weren't interested in talking to him. The media, not interested in talking to him, but we were. Number 1, the DHS and the FBI hid intelligence from Capitol Police. Stund went on to make explosive allegations of federal misconduct related to the Capitol chaos that raised more questions than answers about how and why the complex was left vulnerable. The Capitol Police, Sund said, were left in the dark about the cascade of intelligence gathered by the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security that warned about the rally turning violent. The intelligence that Capitol Police gathered, Sund said, indicated a level of political activity similar to previous rallies that featured limited skirmishes with counter-protesters. Coming onto it, Stund said Capitol Police received absolutely zero of the intelligence that we now know existed, talking about attacking the Capitol, killing my police officers, attacking members of Congress, and killing members of Congress. None of that was included in the intelligence coming up, Stund said. We now know FBI DHS was swimming in that intelligence. We also now know that the military seemed to have some very concerning intelligence as well. None of the intelligence, Sund said, was shared with the Capitol Police Chief. Quote, I've done many national security events, and this was handled differently, Sund said. No intelligence, no joint intelligence bulletin, no coordination, no discussion in advance. Number 2, Milley wanted to shut down D.C. ahead of January 6. Military officials were so concerned about the intelligence that warned of an explosive riot that the chairman of the Joint of Staffs, Mark Milley, considered promptly shutting down the city. Quote, Acting Secretary of Defense Christopher Miller and General Milley had both discussed locking down the city of Washington, D.C. because they were so worried about violence on the Capitol on January 6, Sun said. According to Sun, the two Pentagon leaders discussed even revoking permits on Capitol Hill out of concern for violence. Quote, you now know issues the permits on Capitol Hill for demonstrations, Sun said. I do. You know who wasn't told? Me. On January 4th, however, Miller signed a memo restricting the National Guard from carrying the various weapons, any civil disobedience equipment that would be utilized for very demonstrous or violence he sees coming. Number 3, congressional leadership denied National Guard requests before and during riot. Despite federal intelligence warning of mass upheaval amid the joint session of Congress, Sun explained how he was denied preemptive deployment of the National Guard twice in the days leading up to the riot. On January 3rd, 2021, Sun saw approval from congressional leadership from Guard deployment, as was still required by law. Quote, I was denied twice because of my optics and because of the intelligence didn't support us, Sun said. Quote, I was denied by Paul Irving, House Sergeant at Arms, and also Mike Stinger, Senate Sergeant at Arms. Irving served under the direction of the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and Stringer reported the GOP Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. The former Capitol Police Chief said that he was forced to beg for National Guard assistance as the turmoil escalated. While the riot grew, Sun said that he called a House Sergeant at Arms Irving to demand reinforcements from the nearby Guard troops. Quote, I'm told by Paul Irving I'm going to run it up the chain. I'll get back to you, Sun said. Quote, this chain would be up to Nancy Pelosi. We didn't have to do that, but he wouldn't give me authorization. Irving was allowed to authorize the deployment without Pelosi's approval in the event of an emergency, Sun said. The former Speaker's office confirmed to the New York Times that Pelosi herself was asked to dispatch the National Guard. Sun said Stanger was called next, who in turn said, quote, let's wait to hear what we hear from Paul Irving. Quote, for the next 71 minutes, I'll make 32 calls, Sun said, with no help from the congressional leadership. Number 4, Secret Service turned over text to January 6 committee. While Sun made dozens of calls from the Capitol Command Center, the first agencies to come to the police chief's assistance was the Secret Service. Quote, one of the first people to offer assistance was the United States Secret Service, Sun said. Quote, by law, I shouldn't have requested their assistance until I had approval, but I'm looking at my men and women having their asses handed to them, and my first thought was, F it. I will take whatever discipline there is. Send me whatever you've got. That was the first text Secret Service turned over, Sun added. The agency had apparently deleted messages from January 5th to the 6th, 2021, that were subpoenaed by the House Select Committee probing the riot last summer. The only message turned over was Sun's out-of-order request for support. New Jersey State Police arrived to help before National Guard. While Sun was begging congressional leaders to greenlight assistance from the National Guard, New Jersey State Police were on their way to reinforce Capitol Police. The 150 to 180 National Guard troops who were within eyesight of the Capitol, Sun told Carlson, were put in vehicles and driven around the complex back to the D.C. Armory. Instead, Sun received the evening troops, who didn't arrive on the scene until 6 p.m. By that point, according to Sun, the Capitol was under control. While I'm begging for assistance, Sun said the Pentagon sent in resources to generals' houses to protect their homes, but not me. By the time that National Guard finally showed up, Sun noted New Jersey State Police had beat them to the Capitol. National Guardsmen were then positioned in front of the Capitol to take pictures of military magazines as heroes for January 6. Sun wasn't told about federal enforcement present at the Capitol. In the fall of 2021, the New York Times confirmed the presence of at least one federal enforcement on January 6th Capitol riot after the paper dismissed such claims as a conspiracy theory. The former Capitol Police Chief, however, was kept in the dark on undercover operations with no idea of how many in the crowd. The Justice Department was even deployed special commandos with shoot to kill authority at the Capitol, according to Newsweek. Quote, not to share that in the intelligence, Sun said. That's concerning. Lawmakers didn't want Sun to testify. In the aftermath of the Capitol riot, lawmakers began to schedule hearings on the security failures while the fewer grew to launch a snap impeachment of the outgoing president. Quote, I fought to testify. Sun said, but they didn't want me to testify in the Senate hearing. The hearing was in the upper chamber was initially limited to current Capitol employees. Sun was excluded from the lineup because he was immediately dismissed from his job as chief police after the riot. Irving and Stingler would have also intentionally be excluded. The trio of security officers eventually testified in the upper chamber after Trump's acquittal in February 2021, would send the only one to appear in person. Meanwhile, Pelosi, who was in charge of the Capitol as Speaker of the House, was off limits to investigation, leaving open questions such as whether the Speaker was briefed on the potential for violence from other agencies. The House Speaker even blocked Republican access to relevant documents ignored by the Democrats' January 6th committee. And I completely agree, because this is just going over exactly what we already knew, because we saw the videos. We're alive. We saw the videos. I saw firsthand police officers waving people into the Capitol. I saw the QAnon shaman, which he's going to be going to court and filing all of this paperwork and showing us all of the evidence for this. But I did see videos of the QAnon shaman actually being brought to the House chamber so he can pray for the police officers and the Capitol police officers that surrounded him, like I would say like 10-1, and just let him around the Capitol without doing anything to stop him. So if they really wanted to stop him, they could have. But they didn't. They never did. So I don't know what's going on here, but I guess we're gonna see this when he goes to trial, because he's going to be suing a couple people within our government, because that's not good. He spent 18 months in jail. That's crazy, very crazy. But with that being said, we're going to be summing up the video here. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for enjoying. And if you did if you did like this episode, I do post new episodes of the show every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if you did like this episode, please like and subscribe down below. Thank you all for watching, and I hope they have a great rest of your day. If you do want to watch the Sunday show that I did post yesterday, you can click the box right here, or you can click the link down below, because I do have the newest episode that I did post in the description down below. Thank you all for watching, and I hope they have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.